Hello, everybody. Spider here once again, coming soon podcast, San Antonio, Texas, being joined by J.P Willie, my man, bro. How you doing, sir?
Hey, what's going on, brother? How you doing tonight?
Man, I'm doing great, man. I know we got to chit chat a little bit before we went on, but I just want to clarify, man. Of course, you are a published author. You're first and foremost, man. You're a U.S Army veteran, man. So thank you for your service.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And of course, published author and of course, award-winning filmmaker, man. So we talked a little bit before we came on, and I was telling you, man, it seems like you've already lived a life that many of us are barely starting, bro. So, when did all this happen for you as far as being an artist, man? Let me ask you that.
I'm not quite sure when that happened. I've always been sort of a like a jokester, voted class clown in high school. So I always liked, not being center of attention, but if I was in a room, I was going to try to work it, just to have a good time, make everybody cut up, have fun. I still do that to this day, even at work. We're clowning today. So, anywhere I go, I just try to have a good time. Life's short. I don't take things too seriously, unless I'm getting shot at, but those days are over. But I think when I was a kid, I was big into horror. Our family was a big horror family. And it wasn't until certain true life events started happening. It wasn't maybe till my mid 20s that I just put it together and said, hey, maybe I think I might have a story to tell. And that's where I wrote my first novel, Blood in the Woods, which is sort of based off true events that happened through my childhood. All the people you read about they're real. It's all my friends and family that I grew up with in the '90s out in Louisiana. So it came out, and for it being an indie book, it did pretty well. It still sells with hardly no promotion, no nothing. I still sell, and that's great. But a lot of people who read it, they're fans of it. It's different. It's been compared to Stephen King's It, but just like more extreme. And that's sort of where I started with that. I believe that I could be a storyteller. I don't consider myself necessarily an author, even though books come out. I consider myself a storyteller, and that's sort of where it came about. Is I just mid 20s thought I had a story to tell, and I wrote it, and it happened.
No, man, and I gotta say, because at 20, compared to the age we're at now. At 20, you said you had a story to tell. So, what stories? What was going on in your teens, man? That you had these stories, bro.
Well, I just had got back from my second deployment to Afghanistan, and my best friend Jack, who is in the book, his sister passed away unexpectedly. And I think with her loss, that's when I wanted to write something that captured the foreverness of my childhood friends and her spirit and everybody. So that's when I decided just to go ahead and put the book together and take a shot. And it took me many years, maybe 5, 6 years before I got picked up. So I finished it, I think, when I was like 25, 26, and it didn't get picked up until 2017. So probably like my early 30s because I'm 44 now. Yeah, that's sort of what started my journey in the writing. It was almost like therapy, like I tell people. And so, yeah, that's where it began.
No, no, for sure, and I can definitely relate, man. Because I always tell people this is my therapy. I always tell
Yeah.
people. Not just for men, but even like all my guests that come through. I said, for me personally, it is for men. A lot of times we grew up with that macho, like we don't talk about our feelings. We don't, so this kind of relieves everything because even if it's about talking about the weather or
Mhm.
pets, we're able to talk about anything, and it's just it's a stress reliever, man. I love it. I enjoy it. I always tell people as long as I'm having fun with this, man, like I want to keep doing this, and it's not for money, it's not for fame, it's just for being able to get to know people like yourself, that I would have
Yeah.
never met otherwise. You're out there right next door to, I'm in Texas, you're right next door in Louisiana, but still, there's tons of
Well,
people
well,
like
I'm
me.
I'm in I'm in Alabama now, so
Oh, okay,
I'm
okay.
born and raised Louisiana, and a lot of my writings are based in Louisiana because I like to tell people you sort of write what you know, right?
Yes.
So I can't really write about Bangor, Maine. I've never been to Bangor, Maine, but I can tell you about the bayous and the swamps and the people and the culture, and I'm getting really rooted here. I've been retired here in Alabama for about 5 years, so roll
Oh, nice.
tide, I got some stories that I think are going to come out of here as well too. So.
No, no, for sure, man. And I was gonna say too, because one of your first novels, it was actually, was that a novel or a short film one about the crying baby?
Oh yeah, so yeah, that was the first film I did. I filmed that when I was in the army. That actually took first place in the Horror and the Heat Film Festival, somewhere down in Mississippi. I didn't make it. I was actually stationed in Alaska, when my films went to film festivals and won, and I was never there to even see them debut. So maybe I'll get back in the saddle on that, but I haven't done film in quite some time. Since I do write it, I direct it, I edit it, I color grade it, I do everything, and it's very time consuming. And since retiring, I've sort of lost the love of filmmaking. Sort of, I want to get back to storytelling. Not to say that it won't come back, but right now, just with the culture of Hollywood and everything, I'm just not into it right now. So maybe if some things change, I'd maybe take a dive back into filmmaking again.
Oh, okay, okay. And I was gonna ask you, man, what's up? What's the last project that you actually worked for as far as film?
The last project I did, well, I did Crybaby Bridge, Louisiana Urban Legend. That won 2 awards. It took third place in the Lake Charles Film Festival in Louisiana. And then I directed and wrote Welcome Home Rougarou, which is the first ever like short film about the Louisiana werewolf. And that was just an absolute nightmare to film. We shot it 3 times, brother. We used to joke and say it was a cursed film. It had a lot of things go wrong, but I think you learn so much on indie film and that guerrilla filmmaking style. It's a blast, but it could be exhausting and mistakes are made and you can end up paying for it. And it took me quite some time to get that made. But when I had that completed, because we had lost so much footage, like most people don't know, and when they're watching it, because I was able to somehow just put it together as
Yeah.
a creative. I don't even know how it happened, but if you watch it, you'll never know nothing was ever missing. But there's a lot of footage that was missing from the film, and I just couldn't let my crew down, and I had to do something. And honestly, I'm very happy with the film. It's available on YouTube. So Welcome Home Rougarou. I just released it on there. I didn't even submit it to any film festivals because by the time I got done with it, I was sort of just burnt out wanting to achieve that fame as a filmmaker, you know? So I wanted to get it out because I owed it to everybody to get it out.
Oh no, for sure, man, and that's
Mhm.
great to hear because that's one of the things. A lot of times in filmmaking, people wait for that dollar, and it's like instead of just releasing it, through
Mhm.
YouTube or anywhere, they just kind of sit on it, and it gets shelved, and nobody's ever sees it, man. And that's kind of, I mean, I'm waiting on a few films myself, and I'm like, damn, I'm hoping they see the light of day because I mean,
Mhm.
I understand and I get it. Everybody's like, hey, you know what, this film's gonna make it. This is the big one. And I mean, I've worked with a lot of creative, directors, writers, producers, man, that it's like I have no doubt that what they make is gold. But at the same
Yeah.
time, like, they're sitting on it and we're just waiting. A lot of us put our just like they did, we put our time into it,
Yeah.
contributed, but it's like it'd be great
Mhm.
for it to be out. So
Yeah,
hopefully,
I mean, yeah, I mean, everybody hopes it's the next big thing. You know, I think the biggest accolade that I received for that film for Welcome Home Rougarou was from Isaiah Washington. They used to be on Grey's Anatomy. He watched it. We used to go back and forth on Twitter a bit. I got to get back in touch with him. I'm actually going to try to see if I'm going to try to plug it. I'm going to try to get him to narrate Hot Summer Savior, my new book coming out. Once I get back in touch with him, but he watched the film and he absolutely loved it. And so, just even though I didn't break into anything, become the next big name in horror, the next Mike Flanagan. Anything I put my mind to, I can achieve. And it was just great to hear someone of that stature throughout the Hollywood and throughout film and TV, for him to give it praise. And that was just enough for me. And I think that was enough for everyone else that was involved with that film to hear that and be proud of it.
No, no, yeah. I mean, especially when you have especially like even when film festivals, you put it out there and
Yeah.
you start hearing people like, "Wow, that's great," and all that
Mhm.
hard work kind of makes sense. All that chaos and all that. I mean, hard work in general because when it comes to indie filmmaking, I mean, like they say, the term, wear many hats. You guys are
Yeah.
doing everything, man, and it's just it's something I personally wouldn't be able to do, man. So the fact that you guys are doing it, I'm like, I'll just,
Yeah.
I'll act in it and I'll watch it definitely.
Yeah, well, hey man, I appreciate you doing this for us little guys because if we didn't have individuals like you that had a love for the craft and for the indie scene, we wouldn't have the platforms even like this to get on there. So I appreciate what you do and having me on tonight. I
No,
really
man,
do. And
likewise.
yeah, yeah, and I hope everything that you work on is successful and you find that success. I've always want people to achieve their dreams and whatever they want to do. I support all my friends and anything they do, and I just hope they support me as well. But yeah, I hear what you're saying about multi hats. Like, so when I wrote and directed those 2 films, I think it wasn't as stressful for me as it can be to some people who. I mean, I was responsible for at least 2 people's lives, welfare, morale, ever since I was like 22 years old. So running a film crew coming from like running a platoon in the Army was actually very easy. So direct that's sort of easy stuff to me. Um, but I know it's difficult for some people. Like you said, it can be very stressful. And I think you just said you don't even want to wear all those hats. But
Oh no,
I
I
guess
mean,
my military background, it was very simple to do that. And that's why I knew I could achieve great success if I wanted to try to keep going. But I honestly just got burnt out, man. It's really hard being in the Indies, trying to tell everybody you're the next best thing since sliced bread. And it's difficult to break through. And you know that. It really
oh,
is.
no, yeah, man. And it's like, I mean, for me, I mean, there's a lot of local like talent here in San Antonio, man. And I'm like, I hope
Yeah.
everybody makes it, man. I mean, I hope everybody, can at the end of the and at the end of their day, or when they're done, they can say like, you know what, man, I'm happy. I'm happy with what I've done, with what I've
Yeah.
accomplished. And it's kind of like I told people, I have a lot of buddies in the UFC, right? They fight and compete in
Hmm.
MMA, and like with one of them, he had told me, he says, man, well, there's only one spot for a 145-pound champion.
Hmm.
Like that's, I mean, that's like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, there's like hundreds and
Yeah.
thousands of fighters just trying to get that one slot, dude. And it's like, damn, put it in
Yeah.
perspective, bro. That's freaking mind blowing. But
Yeah,
the same.
I had saw that you were in the UFC quite a bit too, and that's pretty wild because my two sons they do MMA, so with a gym up here
Oh,
and
sweet.
up in Auburn, and their coach just got called up to the UFC before last. He fought, he lost. His name was Tristan. He did a great job though. He's a great warrior. He's a great coach too. So it's pretty funny that you said that. I didn't know you had many friends in there, but I knew that
Oh,
you liked
yeah.
it. But checking out the podcast,
No, no, for
so
sure, man. And that's great. That's cool though, man, because a lot of them, recently, just like the other day, another fighter. He's out of Cali. He's out of
mhm.
Mexico. He's trains and fights out of California. But I mean, he got picked up, and it's one of the guys that I covered through the regional scene, and it's cool, man. Even here, locally, man. I mean, I got guys that finally made it, and I'm like, damn, years and years of training and hard work, and I
Yeah.
mean, the fact that they even get to touch the UFC mat, bro, that's like that speaks volumes, because a
You
lot
just
of
want to
people
have
don't
some
even do that.
sweat even hit your face from the
Yeah.
front row. Just be like, oh, I made it, guys. I made it. I made it. I'm here.
Let me put this up there. We got, who do we have here, man? Have Sheeta, Wolf You. Indie film is, yeah, definitely tough these days, man. And I mean, I don't think it's ever been easy, but it's just, I mean, you would think with social media and streaming and like all this, man, it'd be easier to get your film across. But even then, you get
Yeah.
hundreds. If you're lucky, you'll get hundreds. You really got to put a lot of money
Yeah.
into advertising.
Yeah, yeah. Last time I checked, the film Crybaby Bridge, Louisiana Urban Legend. I think it's on the Louisiana Film Channel. Last time I checked, I guess it's sort of like a Louisiana only streaming service they have for like indie films and everything. So if you're working on anything, you might want to check that out. Let some of your directors
Yeah,
know that, see if they want to submit to that because I mean, you're right next door in Texas, so.
yeah.
I mean, I think it necessarily, I don't know if it has to be from Louisiana, but hey, just give it a shot. Reach out and see if you can get on. If that's still available. I haven't really looked in quite some time. So, but
No, no, yeah, dude. I mean, I've got a couple of buddies, I mean, that have been doing their own streaming service, man. Send a search and I'll plug them in right now. But there's tons across the board. And I think it's
Mhm.
great because, I mean, you got, like Tubi, you got Prime, you got a couple of, bigger ones. But then, a lot of
Mhm.
these indie filmmakers are finally making their own stream service, and they're kind of like, hey, this is what we do because this is what we'd want and just makes sense. But
Yeah,
there's a few out there to plug in, man. So yeah, I mean, great job even with them.
yeah, yeah. I was grateful that they even accepted it and took it on. So small success. If that's the most success I ever achieve, I'm good with that.
That'll
I'm
be
good.
good. Nice, brother. Heck yeah, dude. Now, let me ask you, when it came to writing, because of course, you said you had stories to tell, you wanted to get stuff out there. Were you ever in a band? I was just curious. I said, did you used to write songs, or was this just something that just came out of left field?
You talking about music,
Music?
band? Yeah, I was in a pretty successful local band when I was stationed in Hawaii. We actually opened up for Suicide Silence, Within the Ruins, Hatebreed, and I opened up with another band for Josh Scogan's band 68. They were just on tour with Korn, opening up at the amphitheater up in
Ooh,
somewhere up Marietta, Georgia, a couple years ago, and I took my son to see Corn. So I've had some. I feel like everything I do in my life that I put my mind to, like I said, I accomplishment, but it's always on like I can never quite just break through the ceiling. You know what I
yeah,
mean? I
the
got the
right
talent. It's just it's finding the right people who find value and your worth. Like they know your worth. Like That's what I tell a lot of people. You have to know your worth when
Yep.
you're out there trying to tell yourself, people about yourself. Am I the greatest storyteller on earth? A lot of people don't like my work. They find it too extreme sometimes. Write what you know. Some people absolutely love it. You're not going to please everybody, brother, but don't ever let that hold you back from telling any story or making the music you want to do or making the films that you want to do. Get out there, bust your ass, and go fucking do it.
No, yeah, put it out there, man. And that's one thing
Yeah.
too, because I always tell people when it comes to episodes, to interviews, to music reviews, like anything that I put out there, I said once it's out there, man, I said it doesn't belong to me anymore.
It's
It belongs
everybody.
to the
Yeah.
internet. So I just,
And
I let it
everybody's a
go.
critic, brother.
Oh yeah.
Everybody's a critic, and that's fine. Let the haters fuel you. Let them
No,
fuel you. You
definitely,
know,
man.
they're not gonna you're not gonna please everybody, but that's one thing that I learned being a creative. And you got to have thick skin. Once you throw it out, brother, it's open. It's open to the wolves.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. And let
Mhm.
me backtrack a little bit because I don't want to forget this. You had mentioned earlier as far as your films and stories of how they're about people around you, friends, family. That's
Yeah,
I was asked one time and they were like, "Man, why do you want to be in film?" And without thinking, I was just like, "Man, I want to live forever.
yeah.
Like I want to be in the film to where it's like my great grandkids, like who
Mhm.
knows, years from now, man, that somebody will see it and be like, "Man, that was my great uncle, my great grandpa,
Yeah,
my great, and it's just, I mean, that's what I want, it's just like I want it to be out there. My kids, 21 and 25, they know what I'm doing, and it's like they root for me, man, and I'm like,
yeah.
okay, cool, like I support them with what they do, and it's just like, man, I kind of want them to see what I'm accomplishing, if anything, man, even just the fact that I'm trying, I'm like, you know what, you're not gonna know unless you try, and if you don't make it, then you have fun with it, man, regardless.
I believe I watched that podcast when you said that. That was a couple of nights ago, wasn't it?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I saw that, and I've been saying that for years. It doesn't matter. I used to say it in the army, right? I just actually said it to one of my old soldiers that I have, who's now making the rank of master sergeant. So Garrett Sorum, congratulations, brother! But I just reached out to him the other day. He's getting promoted, and I sent him just a motivational quote. Like I used to tell everybody, if you have a platoon full of 35 people and you reach one, you did your job. So with even if you reach one, you can't reach them all, but if you reach one that they want to mimic you, they take a piece of you and they carry it on forever, you've done your job. Same thing with my writing, same thing with these small films. I don't think YouTube's going anywhere. If it does, maybe to get moved over somewhere else at some point. But there's a piece of you out there that lives forever, and I wanted to honor my friends with my first book by doing that in family. And I, did this with a little bit with my second book as well too. So there, I mentioned maybe like two soldiers that I asked if I could just put their names in the book, just to show my gratitude for them serving under me and never doubting my leadership and always having my back. So it's the little things, right?
No, no, for sure, man. And I know earlier too, man, you had mentioned as far as, well, like what I meant as far as wearing many hats, and as far as on my end, like I'm actually directing a fan film,
Okay.
and I'm having fun with that. I'm the video guy. I mean, once again, we got many hats, but I'm contributing. And when I was asked by my buddy Albert, man, I was just like, dude, like I'll do it. Like, you know what? I always told people when I'm out there and I've been in big productions now where I see them working and I'm thinking, man, even when from the indie, bro, like I see a lot of perks and the little, things that they do. And I just pick up, things here and there. And I'm like, you know what? Like I've been doing photography for years and I don't want to say I have an eye for a lot of stuff, but I do, man. I see things that a lot of people don't. I see detail. I see angles. I see cuts. I
Yeah.
see. And so now I'm kind of putting that on that fan film, which should be done, I think, next week. And we're going to film the rest of the scenes. But it's something that I definitely want to do. I want to contribute in writing. I want to do. I've done a little bit of voiceover. So when it comes to like indie, internet, online cartoons and stuff like that, man, nothing that's out yet. I'm still waiting, But it's just like whatever I can contribute to. Like I want to do it. I want to be able to just have fun across the board. I mean, see
Mhm.
what hits, and if none of them do, I want to at least be able to say like, yeah, I did that, man. I tried. It didn't go nowhere. If it did, great, man.
Yeah. Hey, aim for the moon, man. You miss, you hit the stars, brother.
There you go, man. There you go. And of course, bro, I wanted to ask you a little bit more when it comes to music, man. Did you guys ever record anything?
I did. We did. I think a demo somewhere out of a studio somewhere in Hawaii, and then my creative self. We I tried to record it through Logic Pro X, like at the end, because I'm a very loyal guy. I'm like one of the I'm just very loyal to the end to anybody who gives me their loyalty and helps me create or do anything. So when the band, we were all military. So when we were all going our separate ways, I just couldn't have nothing to show for the hard work that we put in. Much like the film Rougarou, I had to get it out. Even though the footage was lost, I had to do something. And so we recorded our, like, I think 6, 7 song demo, and sounds like Dookie, but that's something that we have forever. Your great grandchildren, if they still got MP3s, MP3 or MP4, whatever it is, they're going to hear us at that moment in time when we were doing something that we love to do. So, but yeah, I do have some recordings. But like I said, I've never made it.
Yeah.
I've been in several very good bands throughout the years, brother. Like, I've always just been so close to success. Like with my first book, Blood in the Woods, there was a agent out of New Orleans that picked me up for a bit for about 6 months, and he was sending some feels out to Netflix and everything, and they weren't interested because they had Stranger Things. Well,
Oh,
we all saw how that ended in a big
yeah.
disappointment. So I wish they would have picked up that book for a series or whatever, because it would have been a heck of a lot more entertaining and intense. But I didn't get it through there. I didn't get through that way. When I was in one of my first bands in Italy, we had sent a demo off to Nuclear Blast Records in Germany, because I was in
Oh yeah,
Italy.
yeah.
They
Know that.
they were they were interested, but not at this time. And then we disbanded, and we all went our separate ways. It's the life of the military, right? It's just here today, gone tomorrow. You're really nowhere, no more than 3 years, and you're gone. So it
Yes.
was really hard, and I was with so many talented musicians throughout my career, even through the military. It's ridiculous. I mean, some of these guys and girls I played with could, they could be on the radio, like they really could.
No, no, for sure, man. And back in the early '90s, I actually had a zine, where I used to interview bands, and I always
Hmm.
told people it was fun because I used to have to write letters. This before the internet, like we didn't have social media, man. It was nothing like it is now. But I used to have to write letters to bands in Germany and the UK. Wait a month, 2 months for them to respond, man. Send photos, send pins. I used to get a lot of cool
And
perks.
you've always been supportive,
Oh
supporting
yeah,
a lot of
bro.
creatives, man. Sounds like a lot of your
Yeah,
career and just your
yeah.
passions, like to support others. That's really good to do. It's
And
honorable to do.
that's what I loved about it because even now, I mean, I started doing that when that stopped, years later. But I used to get a lot of labels that used to send me music, like albums, T-shirts, and I used to sell them here out of trunk, man. So I used to have my own little business, side gig, But I mean, I used to do that. I used to after that stopped, I was already training in or what's mixed martial arts now. But
Mhm.
I had a buddy of mine that was doing media, so he brought me on. So we started covering, combat sports, man, and that's kind of where that kind of took off. And I mean, I think it was like 2004 when we started doing that, and it's been like one after the other, man. And now finally, I'm doing all of them. I'm doing music, I'm doing combat sports, I'm doing indie film. I'm just having fun all the way across, dude. Like it's just talking to individuals and about creativity and pushing
Yeah.
projects, man.
Well, hey man, if you ever need a drummer, I'll lay a track down free of charge. We got some good recording studios where I'm at. I'm always looking down to collab with some skins, brother. I'll tear them up for you.
No, 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 for sure, man. I appreciate that, brother. But
Yeah.
yeah, man. But dude, let me ask you, when it comes to your latest project, I mean, this is a published book. Now, so I mean, of course, this is a photo of yourself. I mean, this is the Nightmare Press. I want to thank them
Oh,
for.
look at that beard. It's glorious.
I
That's
know, dude.
that's
I
low
love that
level.
flannel, bro. I saw that flannel. I said,
That
what?
yeah yeah, that's low level wizard status right there. I'm almost there, man. It's not. It's almost Gandalfish. We'll get there though. We'll get there. Yeah. So yeah, my new novella, Hot Summer Savior. It's a military supernatural horror, like a transgressive horror novella. So it's going to be coming out soon from Nightmare Press. Jacob Floyd and his wonderful wife, they picked it up. Me and Jacob, one of our books had debuted on with the same publisher at one point, I believe. And once Hot Summer Saver was released about a year and a half ago, but I just didn't have a good relationship with the publisher. I had it pulled, personal reasons. And Jacob, when they found out, they were like, man, we've got to get this back to people. This is a phenomenal read. It's intense. We've never, it's a phenomenal story. And so they picked it up, and it's going to be coming out soon. Right now, it's sort of in the final editing stages, and we got to get the formatting, and it'll be out soon. So stay tuned for the trailers that I drop, because as a film director, and creator. I don't know if anybody else does book trailers like I do, man. I gotta toot my own horn from time to time.
Well,
Like I know I've showed some of them to you.
yeah,
So
yeah. And I was gonna say too, because when I saw that, I was like, dude, I don't think I've ever seen that.
yeah, I try to stand out, and that's
Yeah,
why I sort of got burned out for a while. I would make film trailers, well, teaser trailers for my books, for my
yeah,
for the novella. And Hot Summer Savior has another one that's going to come out upon release, and and still it doesn't catch the right attention. It doesn't catch fire,
yeah,
and it's sort of you start getting burned out. Especially as you get older. I'm 44, so I don't. I mean, I got a lot of energy still, but I don't know if I have enough energy to keep chasing a dream that might not be what I'm here on this earth to
yeah.
achieve.
No, no, man, and that's the thing too, because I mean, just like like these viral videos, they just happen out of nowhere, man, and it's like one of those things where there's no formula per se. I mean,
Yeah.
but when it hits and it hits the right people, the right time, the right
Yeah.
everything, it's like, and that's another thing too, because I always tell people, I mean, as easy as it is for me to post something on social media and share it to like thousands of people, it's like I could be here, I could look this way, and it just the video flash. I look back and it's gone. So it's like people still miss it. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that are like, man, I didn't see it, and I'm like, dude, I just posted it like 10 minutes ago,
Mhm.
and it's just like, I mean, not everybody's watching everybody, at the same time. So it's just one of those like a hit or miss.
Yeah. I hear you, brother. I hear you. But I am excited for the novella to come out. It's a very unique blend of supernatural brotherhood, courage, and the evil that lurks within the hearts of all men, man. It's you write what you know. So a little bit about the novella that's coming out. It is inspired from some true crimes that occurred at Fort Polk, Louisiana. I got the idea from that. You'll be able to read sort of how I came up with the story in the entirety of the author's note. I write to the readers exactly how I put this story together, the crimes that inspired it, the things that I experienced in my military career, that my soldiers experienced through, that I've heard through my military career. And that's how Hot Summer Savior came to be. So, and it resonates a lot with the veteran community because a lot of veterans struggle with PTSD, a lot of the issues within the book, uh, more than I realized. So, when we sent it out to test readers, I won't disclose names, but certain soldiers that reached out to me, they were like, "Hey, man, I see my dead lieutenant too." And I was like, all right. I was like, so it's resonating, even though it is a work of fiction and supernatural, but the supernatural was real.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's why I write what I know, but a lot of my writing is grounded in the brutality of reality. So it's just if you when you read Hot Summer Savior, there's a certain chapter, chapter two, you're going to feel like you committed a murder. So it's going to feel that way, and that's how I wanted it to feel. I
Yeah.
wanted to take you out of your comfort zone because these things happen. Like what
Yeah.
you're reading is could be happening to someone right now, and I think that's what hits people a lot about my writing. That it's very intense and it hits hard because it's real.
No, no, for sure, man. And yeah, I agree. I mean, there's this thing. I used to tell people, like when I was a kid, I used to have these recurring nightmares, and
Mhm.
like one day I'm with my mom in the living room, we're watching TV. The news comes on, and it's about this sniper that was at the fiesta downtown celebration right here in
Mhm.
downtown San Antonio. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like 7 or 8 years old, right? And my mom's like, "Hey, look, you and your sister were there."
Mhm.
And I look at her, and I'm like, "Mom," I was like, I didn't even tell her, but I was like to myself, I'm like, "Man, this is what I've been dreaming about. Like this is my dream, my nightmare."
Mhm.
And it was because it was just like trauma, man. Like I mean, the people
Mhm.
running, people yelling, scared. Like we weren't there within the firing. I mean, we were like down the way, but I
Mhm.
mean, the way it affected everybody because everybody was running everywhere, man. I still remember. It's just not like a clear thought, but yeah, man, trauma haunts you, dude. I mean, every once in a while, like I still think about that, and every time I see a post or somebody will comment on it on the situation, I'm like, damn, like yeah, bro, like
Mhm.
it's intense. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's nothing compared to what you guys go through, of course. When it comes to you know, um, your tours, because of course you guys are out there in the heat of the battle. But I mean, I can't even imagine, what you guys go through, man. I mean, mine was minute, it was here, it was local, but being out there in middle of nowhere, or you know what I mean? Like it's a lot to it, man. And it's
Yeah, yeah. For the first time, for a lot of people when they read the novella when it comes out, you're going to sort of see what it feels like to be a soldier. You're going to see sort of the dark and gritty side of it. It's almost got like a platoon feel to it. So platoon's not like this lovey-dovey army movie. I mean, there's brotherhood there. I think Hot Summer Savior has a lot more positive in it, you know, despite the brutality and the brutalness of it, and all that. But I think it's going to be a fun read for a lot of people, especially veterans and even those who just want to know a little bit more about what our service members go through. I think it's gonna do well, and I'm really excited for it. I'm excited for everybody to read it.
No, no, for sure, man. And of course, I know you said you had to go, brother. We're gonna wrap it up at 30. Right
Yeah.
on,
We're good, brother. Hey, it was a
man.
pleasure speaking with you, man. And I might be in touch too. You said you do voiceover work.
Yes, sir.
Oh man. Well, you might have to read Hot Summer Savior for me if we go to audiobook.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. But yeah, bro, you know what? I do want to invite you back. You know, I know today we're cut short, man, but I definitely want
Yeah.
to bring you back and just keep talking, man, because obviously you have a lot, you know, that we can conversate on, and I love to, you know, let the viewers listen and hear and, you know, let them
Yeah.
relate, man.
Yeah, I'd love to. I'd love to be back on, brother. Maybe we should just schedule it for after the book releases,
Yeah,
and maybe we can maybe a week after release or something. We can come
nice.
on. And I don't know if you can take live answers of people reading the book or something. Maybe I'll give a signed copy away to somebody and send it out to them.
Yeah, for sure, man. We'll do that, bro. I appreciate that. And of course, don't hang up yet, though, man. Everybody out there, of course, once again, J.P. Willie, it's the Spider, Coming Soon podcast. As always, till next time.